You're listening to the Chartographers.
Hello, everybody! You are listening to the Chartographers. It's a music-loving podcast for music-loving people, and guys, we are here doing the ultimate ranking podcast of all time. That's right, the balding Willy Wonka of 80s synth syrup funk. That's right, Phil Collins is our subject for the day. We are going to take his entire discography and we are going to rank it worst to best and forget the rest. You know, at this point, I have all of the catchphrases for the show down like pat. Like, it is like a thing. But more importantly, though, some, longtime listeners of the podcast may notice that our usual guest here in the co-creator chair, Taryn O'Reilly, he is not here for this one, and saddened by that, I was like, how are we going to do this podcast? Against all odds, how? And I found out a way. By bringing in two utterly incredible guests. Our first one, longtime friend of mine, he is a writer. You've probably seen his writing over at the Frederick News Post. You've probably seen his writing over Alternative Press. You'll probably see his writing in a forthcoming brand new book about the 90s alternative rock scene. Guys, Colin McGuire is in the house. Colin, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm better than great. It's against all odds.
And I already did that joke, God damn it. And guess what? Listen, Colin, I'm so glad you're here, and it's so glad to connect with you after a while. I'm so happy about this, but more importantly, we have someone to balance it out. We have, I'm really thinking of, and then there were three, to put it one way. Guys, you might know him as a writer over at Rolling Stone. You might know him for his work on Paste Magazine. You might know him for his forthcoming Hal Leonard book on Fleetwood Mac. Guys, Ryan Reed is joining the group. Ryan,
hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, and please don't take that at face value, because we're going to talk
Listen,
about.
All right, guys, all I'm asking for you guys is that we're going to just take a look at his entire discography from both sides. And so let's dive right into it. Phil Collins,
take a look
as
at it
we
now.
know. What?
Sorry.
Listen, most of this podcast, I know it's like listed as 2 hours long. That's only because we're making puns for the everything right now. And now we're gonna dance to the light a little bit.
Hey, I can feel it in the air tonight.
Listen, I'm looking for you guys to testify about this. Jesus, I'm gonna stop. I need to stop right now, or I'm gonna kill myself. Guys, so we're doing Phil Collins. He is his fascinating career. He is, arguably one of the biggest pop music careers in history. The dude has a fucking Oscar, and has sold bajillions and bajillions of records, and yet he started out as a drummer for kind of jazzy, kind of funky stuff, and then started moving into prog rock, and then became literally the embodiment of 80s synth pop. Like, it's been a journey. And then he did the fucking Motown album. And so that's why we're really fascinated to dive into this. We're going to be ranking his albums. And before we do anything else, we're going to talk about qualifiers. And at this point, I should also mention, because I'm sure you're listening to all these podcasts in a row, we don't have theme song music for when we do the qualifying section. If someone could do like a 5-second song about qualifiers, I'd appreciate it. Guys, so we're talking about the 8 core albums. The 8 core albums are Face Value, his 1981 debut, Hello, I Must Be Going from 1982, No Jacket Required, the mega smash from 1985, But Seriously from 1989, the Both Sides from 1993, it's Both Sides, not the Both Sides, Dance to the Light from 1996, Testify from 2002, and Going Back from 2010. Now, that's pretty, par for the course. Those solid 8 albums, we can all nod in agreement, right? We're nodding?
I'm nodding, yes.
I'm
vigorously.
nodding.
So many vigorous nodding is going on. But now there is a couple weirdness on here. Weirdly enough, half of Phil Collins' number one singles come from soundtracks, which is interesting. And so, listen, we're not really going to qualify Buster. Buster doesn't make it on here.
Oh my God. Has anybody watched that movie recently? Because I have.
No,
Please.
Has
never.
anybody...
Tell
Have you
us.
watched that movie ever?
I've never
Any of
watched
you?
it, no.
No, I've
Oh.
seen it at the dollar bin at the DVD store.
It's so good. It's so good.
I was just reading about it, actually, earlier today, because I was trying to prep for this, and I thought, what the fuck is Buster again? Like, I forgot that existed.
I was reading the
Oh, it's so
3-star Roger Ebert review for
Yes!
this motherfucker.
Yes!
Nice.
Listen,
oh.
and also to put
Wow.
Phil Collins in his further place, let's not forget that as a child actor, He was in, what was it, fucking Hard Day's Night?
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, he was in A Hard Day's Night. Yes.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, so
Wait.
guys, so the real question about all of this is, when we get down to it, are we actually going to count the Academy Award-winning Tarzan soundtrack?
I was just gonna say that.
Same here.
I don't think we should. In fact, I think that should be scrubbed from his record forever.
I
Oh,
love that
no.
idea, by the way.
I think we should not count it just because it confuses things a little bit. I think it makes it.
It does.
Should it count? Should it not? I don't know. I think it's a tough one. I think we're better served just 8 albums.
Yeah. I mean, because there are songs on there, but I don't think they're enough to necessarily quantify
No, it sucks. Get it out. Get it out of here. Get it out right now.
Listen,
There's no
I kind of
way.
like
That's
it.
impossible.
I kind of like it, but
Colin
You
has
like
laid
it?
his foot
Oh,
down. We
no.
are not including the Tarzan soundtrack. I am okay with that. There is no listen. As much as I wanted to talk about his NSYNC collaboration, Raid in the Camp or whatever the fuck that was.
I'm happy to review the Buster movie right now if you'd like to do that.
Just give us our 2-sentence review of Buster the movie. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
The best. That's it. I gave you 2 words, not 2 sentences. The best.
There was your 2 sentences right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, in that case, we have 8 for the most part. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. I'm a dummy. Well, one more thing about the qualifiers here. In terms, and not that I don't think it's going to change much, but in terms of going back, recently, as of 2016, Phil Collins released all these different deluxe editions of all his different albums in
Yes.
weird phases. And
Indeed.
the thing is that on going back, he did the essential going back, because
Yes.
the original album was 18 goddamn tracks, and then he cut it down to like, and he admitted in the press release, like, there's too many songs on there, and it's like, okay, cool, I got it. So do we count the original 18-track version or the 10? I don't think it's gonna weigh too heavily, but it might change my opinion somewhat on the ranking.
I would lean toward the original, personally.
Yeah, me too. Yes.
And
I agree.
To be frank, I haven't listened to I've got it, but I just haven't listened to it yet, so that kind of plays into my decision as well. But I feel like it's going to be the same on my list no matter what, because I won't spoil anything, but my picks are pretty firm, I think, and I don't.
All right, well, we're going to see. Now, guys, for those of you who are listening for the first time, we're all going to rank. We're going to talk about our favorite ones. And the thing is that we're very well knowledgeable people, but we're also not assholes. I could be saying, like, guys, Testify is the greatest thing Phil Collins ever made. And if Ryan agrees with me, Colin could be like, hey, maybe you're onto something there. But we're also willing to hear opinions. I'm willing to hear arguments one way or another. And we're going to start with the argument to end all arguments, starting at number 8 on the list. Guys, what is the worst Phil Collins album?
This is easy to me. This is very easy to me, but I want Ryan to go first.
Oh, that's just mean, but okay, I'll do it, because I feel pretty confident in this. I'm afraid, though, because I want to agree with you on this, and I'm afraid you're going to disagree with me, but...
These 2 Phil Collins fans, by the way, have not collaborated. They're not in cahoots to each other. They don't know.
There's
how
not a
hardcore
single
their love
one
runs.
Cahoot in this whole thing.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with... Are we ready for this? I'm going first. Is this really... Okay. I'm going to say mine... So we're starting at the bottom. I'm just clarifying.
Yes.
We are starting at the worst. Just want to make sure. Yes, I'm just kidding. My number 8 on this list is Testify.
Yes, me too.
Woohoo!
Me too.
Okay,
So
now-
we agreed on
Digital
that.
high
Let's-
five on that.
Let's dive into this a little bit. Ryan, why would you say that's the worst?
Well, I actually was listening to some Testify earlier today, and that was very painful for me because the album is horrendous. But I did it because I went into this thinking, no doubt that's the worst. There was no doubt in my mind, but I've got to listen to some of this again because it's probably been 8 years since I've listened to Testify, and I thought I'm going to do it. So I just went on YouTube and was perusing, and it confirmed the negative thoughts that I already had about it. It's just super cheesy songwriting and production, just very lightweight, even for Phil Collins. And obviously Phil's got some lightweight tracks in there, but it just doesn't have any of the... All the other Phil Collins albums have something to balance out the cheesiness. There's some arty moments in there. There's some moments of really, really strong musicianship. But this one to me is just pretty bland from start to finish. Again, that very bland production, just so smooth and kind of adult contemporary. All the generic things that people say about Phil when really they're just assholes. it actually does apply with this one album. It's the one album that confirms all the douchebags who put him down. So that I think it's just, there's not really a standout moment. If I were looking at it, let's see, there was one track. It's
not driving me crazy, I'll tell you that right now.
No, not that one. I believe it's "Come With Me" was the one, and I wrote.
Was that the fucking lullaby one? Do 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 do, like that one?
No,
I think that's
it wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't the lullaby one. But even that just confirms my opinion that I can't even remember my favorite song on it. So yeah, it's just, for me, it's a clear number 8. And there's no, some of the other ones I could say, maybe I could make the argument one way or the other, but this one's firm. It's definitely Testify.
I agree. I agree completely, actually. I did something along the same lines. I went out and actually bought all 8 of these re-releases. They were not sent to me like they were sent to Evan.
Yes.
Because I think they were all sent to Evan. They were probably sent to you too, Ryan.
Yeah,
no?
I eventually did get them. Yeah, I reviewed... Actually, what did I review? I reviewed some of them, but then they sent them to me gradually, so... they
did like 2-stage albums at a time.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to tease you out. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Not worth it, but yeah.
So I went back with this one, and there's something I thought was very curious about this, because I went back in preparation for this and read all the liner notes for all of the re-releases, and I looked at all of the B-sides, or the additional, the extra discs.
Bonus materials, yeah.
Yeah, and if you notice, this is the only record where he only has 4 live performances of any of the songs. Now, he never toured this, or I guess maybe he did go out at some point with this, but it was probably just a sort of a greatest hits kind of tour. But I reading the things that he wrote in the liner notes for this, I think Phil Collins even knows this was a throwaway record. Like, I really do. I remember when this came out, I was so excited to see this come out, and I was like, new Phil Collins. Ooh. And then I heard Testify, I heard the title track, and I was like, you need to take me out back and put a knife into my belly right now, because I cannot handle this. And it just goes from there. I mean, even it's so stupid. He tried to pair this with True Colors. True Colors was it's one of the additional tracks. They did a live version of it. I thought that was the cheesiest, stupidest idea for a cover song for Phil Collins to do ever. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I am 100% okay with burying Testify and not talking about it for the rest of my life. I'm 100% okay with that.
Okay.
But I just want to put something out there real quick. My least favorite Phil Collins album by a nautical mile is actually right next to it. Dance into the Light.
See,
now
I don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead, walk me through.
You and I don't know that that's really as bad as you think it is, Evan. Ryan, what do you think?
It's close to that on my list. But the one thing that separates "Dance into the Light" from Testify is the title track on that album. I actually love that song.
Me too.
I think it was because it was like, I don't know, I heard it at this formative time in my life where I discovered that I love Phil Collins so much, and it's just like it's got that uplifting thing about it that I love about Phil, even though it's cheesy. That one song doesn't redeem it necessarily. I don't think that's a very good album as a whole, but I think that song separates it, because I can't name one track really on Testify besides that one that I can't remember, so that doesn't count. But
right.
There's nothing on it that just stands out at all. But that one song, I guess, kind of elevates it a little bit. So I would give that the boost for sure. But I could understand where you would put that at the bottom, because it's definitely not one of his major works at all. That's for sure.
Dance into the Light, the only reason that should never be considered an actual record is because he covers The Times They Are A-Changin', and that is the single. If you think True Colors is bad, The Times They Are A-Changin', I mean, there's no need for that. No need for that.
See, here's my only thing about it, is that you got to keep in mind, prospectively, Dance to the Light came out in 1996, so it's an era when radio pop schmaltz was, right around the time. Like, let's not forget, 1993, he had hits with songs like Every Day, which is just schmaltz personified. But Down to the Light was almost like, hey, you know what? This whole Graceland world beat thing, this is cool. We should probably keep this up a little bit. And that was so far removed from it that it came off as cheesy in a way where Testify, even if it's weaker, it comes off of maybe a little bit more winking, a little bit nostalgic. Like, listen, while 1996 he was trying to keep up with the times and just failing, Testify almost gets my respect because Liz is like, guys, I'm just Phil Collins. He's gonna have to deal with it. Go ahead.
Didn't Testify come on the heels of the Tarzan soundtrack though? Wasn't that sort of in the same vein?
Right, because the Tarzan soundtrack came out in 1999, and then he won all his other awards and shit. He's like, guys, maybe I can be a writer again, and then dove into that. But listen, go ahead.
I would take Tarzan a million times over actually either of these albums. To be honest, if this had been on the list, now I'm kind of regretting not making that choice because I fucking love the Tarzan, except for that insane song.
Who says I fucking love the Tarzan soundtrack?
Ryan Reed does. Ryan Reed does. You know this, man. All right. Okay. In that case, guys, I'm totally okay with putting Testify at number 8. But listen, we just heard a wild defense of Down to the Light, so I'm just going to throw the ropes over here to Colin. Colin, what would you put at number 7?
Okay, well, we're gonna take a left turn because I'm gonna put Going Back at number 7. To me, it was the most useless record Phil Collins ever did, and that even includes Testify. Testify, he was still trying to write original music. It was schmaltzy. It was bad. It was very, very, very much, hey, we want to be adult contemporary radio. But Going Back, to me, it is just, there's no reason to do it other than vanity. That's the only thing that I can think of. It's like, oh, I want to go do songs that I know I can do. I'm rich enough. I'm accomplished enough. I'm popular enough to do this. So let's go do it. What I do think is curious, and you guys can maybe correct me on this, but this is just some minor takeaway I took from it. When he put out the Essential Going Back, what I wondered was if the original, he tries to mask it by saying, oh, the original record was too long. I wonder if he said, you know what, this record didn't sell at all. And to have to pay for these songs again, I don't want to have to pay for all these songs. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to pick out my favorite 14 and say, I'll pay for these again to put these on record again. But I'm not going to go for those other, whatever it was, 10 or 12 other songs on the original output. Because I think he knows it was a failure. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it's such a weird fucking idea in the first place because he clearly from the beginning just said, I don't even really care. That was sort of the impetus for it was just, I want to remake these songs for me because I love them so much. And he literally said, I don't care. I don't want to change anything about them. I want them to sound exactly like they did. Which was the whole weird thing about it is what's the point really of it's just like hearing Phil's voice in the actual original recordings, which it's never going to be as good as those original songs. So from the very beginning, by definition, it is going to be a failure. There's no way it is going to be a really successful project. So I would actually agree, and that's actually number 7 on my list as well, is Going Back, just because it serves no purpose. I agree with everything that you just said. And the reason it does get the slight bump, I think, over Testify is just because at least the songs are good. Even if you didn't,
I was going to say that exact
You know what I mean? It's like at least it's pleasant to listen to. And there are some nice moments where Phil kind of injects a little bit of his personality in there, albeit kind of discreetly. But it's still, like you said, it serves no purpose. It's the least, like I almost want to give Testify the boost just because, like you said, at least it does have original songs. And this was just, like you said, total vanity project from the beginning. But I listen to it more than I do Testify, and it is more pleasant, even though it is totally pointless. So it does get the slight boost, even though, it's still,
Well, the thing about it, though, is that, I mean, throughout his entire career, Phil Collins has always had success with covers. Like, his first, even
True.
with In the Air Tonight aside, on the debut, on Face Value in 1981, he had Tomorrow Never Knows. And then, of course, he also had a big hit with You Can't Hurry Love from Hello It Must Be Going. Like, the dude has a clear love of it. But with Going Back, especially, unlike, even with, a fucking Rod Stewart album where he does, the American Songbook, Volume 800, I feel like at the very very least, I'm contributing the scratchy Rod Stewart voice to the thing. Like, and I can understand that. Phil Collins, I'm not sure if you guys know this, Phil Collins is not a great singer. And it's really hard for me, amidst these wonderful powerhouse fans, to say, like, Phil Collins sucks as a singer, but he's not a great singer. And the thing is, when I listen to Going Back, it's not like, I mean, your voice is not the good part. I will give credit to the production for being actually, at times, it sounds really of the moment. It sounds like evocative of the era. But I then end up with the same question of, why? Why are we doing this?
I will add to that point, Evan, actually, and I will say this. Of the 8 records that we're talking about now, I think without a doubt this is the worst record that he played on drumming.
Oh,
I think
he didn't he give? I thought he gave up drumming at this point. Or am I wrong?
If you read a little, this was actually in the liner notes too. This was like he had to tape drumsticks to his hands in order to be able to play, and like it was really painful for him.
So
and if
sad.
It is so sad, and when you listen back to it, you can tell. I mean, there's hardly any groove. It's his worst drumming record of all time, I think.
Total agreement on that.
Guys, listen, if this podcast goes as easy as it's going right now, I am not opposed, because we're getting through it right now. All right, guys, number 7 on the list is Going Back. But now we come to the crossroads, even though I think we're gonna dance into something here. I'm gonna jump back. Ryan, what are you throwing Dance of the Light number 6, Dance of the Light?
I am dancing into putting Dance into the Light as dance number 6 dance.
Thank you. All right. We already talked about this. I don't think we need to do anything more. All right, guys, listen. We're clear in time right here. We're already at number 5, but that's okay because now I think this is where the dividing lines start.
Wait. Before we move, can I say one more thing about Dance into the Light, please?
Okay.
Okay. That's what you said. I think that's a nice little pop song. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Dance into the Light is a great song, in my opinion.
Dance into the Light, that's what you said. That's a great song. Dance into the Light's a great song. I have an affinity for Wear My Hat, which
No, you don't!
I have the same affinity, even though I do feel guilty about it. I know that it's one step over the line, but I still, god damn it, I can't help it. I still like it. I don't want to. I really don't want to.
You can wear my hat.
But
I
still like
my
it.
Coat. Please take my wallet. It's a holdup. All right. So I would also say, here's the other thing too, is that let's also, this is going to be coming up a little bit, so let's kind of address it now. One of the things I hate about Dance of the Light is that, you know, Phil is really socially conscious. He always tries to, bring like societal issues into what he's doing, and you could argue about the effectiveness of a multimillionaire talking about the plight of the homeless in Another Day in Paradise, but we could also talk about how there's Just Another Story, and some of the other songs. Oh my God, especially on Testify. Just how he's talking about, like, the world's going crazy, man. Like, there's so many things I hate off these 2 albums where it's just like, you're actually out of touch. Platitudes aren't cutting it anymore. And I think in the 80s and early 90s, they absolutely did. It's just everything that's happened since then, it's just, you're kind of walking away from the gambit a bit. But that's all I have to say. But we are getting into heavy schmaltz territory.
Yes.
Colin, this is where side lines are drawn in the sand. I want to see what's going on here.
I believe so. This is what I was thinking about. I thought, and I could be wrong. But I thought that this whole thing would be separated into 4 releases, the first 4 and the last 4, and that's my position on this. I'm gonna conclude that first 4 by saying number 5 for me is Both Sides.
And I would disagree, astonishingly.
You would disagree? Where's Ryan on this? Did Ryan leave?
Number 5, I am Both Sides. We are exactly the same so far.
You motherfuckers!
We have not had a single disagreement so far.
This is upsetting to me. Go ahead, tell me about Both Sides.
Do you want to go, Ryan? Or you want me to go?
If you want to go, I feel like I've been starting it off. Let's see.
Listen, I want to hear from both of you, though. I want to hear both sides of this argument. Really.
Oh, I get it. I see what you did.
I hate every pun I've done.
I actually, there are songs on Both Sides that I really like.
Yeah.
There's one of his schmaltziest songs in the history of forever, Every Day. I like that song. Yeah, I like that song a lot.
I do too. Like it's so schmaltzy, but it's wrapped in that very nice melody. It's a very nice bow. Like, it's easy to hate on because it's so lightweight, but it's a solid pop song.
Yes, I agree. And the second to last song on the record, which Phil Collins, I think, has since said if he could do it again, he would have taken this song off the record. We Wait and We Wonder. I always like that song too.
He is right about that. He's actually right about that, though.
Well, then there's that. I always really thought Both Sides of the Story was fine enough. It was probably 2 minutes too long, I thought, especially if it was going to be a radio single. Can't Turn Back the Years is good. A lot of those songs on that record, especially because I remember this record from side A on the cassette. That's what I remember this from. Nice. And the first side of the cassette I remember loving. The second side not so much, but the first side I really liked.
Well, And it's interesting. Well, this one is also interesting too because this is the only time in history that he's ever recorded every single instrument himself. Yes. It's just like this big, I need to take back, not work with collaborators kind of thing. And it's also kind of a sad boy album too. Like, with him talking about social plights and everything, there is just a hint of sadness that's just kind of running through this. Yeah,
I could understand that, but not nearly as much as But Seriously, which we'll get to in a couple minutes, I'm sure.
Well, okay, because here's the thing. Though. But Seriously is actually my pick for number 5, because here's the thing. Face value, really? Hello, I Must Be Going. Like, even I mean, literally every... Oh,
I'm shocked.
Yes.
Hello, you must be going. No, and the whole reason is But Seriously... But seriously, on that album, I feel like every other album has a very distinct identity. And even though Both Sides is maybe his more kind of, emo sad boy album, and again, I'm using emo and sad boy describing Phil Collins. Get real, everyone. Strap in. But like, even in Dance of the Light, Testify, going back, I feel like even with some of his lesser albums, they still have a distinct identity. But seriously, I've listened to it so many times over, and if you just dropped a bomb in the middle of this track list and exploded the songs all over his discography, would have a really hard time deciphering that they were like, oh, is this from a different album? Like, I feel like...
See, that's what I like about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay, go...
I like... It's like Phil's... That's like a survey of everything he does.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything on there. And that's actually, for me... Well, I won't spoil too much because we got top 4 to go to.
I think Ryan and I are going in the same direction on that. But
if you guys agree on every fucking album, I'm going to wonder why I even invited you.
But yeah, just Both Sides to me is just, for me, it's, I think, Colin, I think you hinted to this earlier, but it's like a clear, to me, it's clear what the top 4 are automatically, and it's just where do you place them within that top 4, and same thing with 5 through 8 as well. I think it's just where you're going to go with the particulars. But, I mean, Both Sides for me is, it's sort of in that awkward zone of it's not a great Phil Collins album, and it's not a horrible one. It's just sort of, it exists. That's always sort of what I've thought about it. It's nothing particularly stands out on it. I can't name one particular song except maybe Both Sides of the Story. I like that pretty well. Probably just because it's the first song on there, so I listen to it the most.
It also has, I think, some of the most propulsive backing he's had, because, like, it's the thing I like about, and he really doesn't do it a lot on this album. He's done it on other albums where he has a lot more propulsion underneath, like that that drum beat on Both Sides of the Story is so prominent and so massive, and it really reminds me a lot of Hello, I Must Be Going in some ways, and that album can be fucking sinister at times, and Both Sides, like, there's like hints of it kind of underneath, and so even though it's mostly like I'm sad, like there's a bit of more of a heartbeat to it, and that's kind of why I think a little bit more highly of Both Sides than But Seriously. But hey guys, listen, if you want to keep on the agreement train and put Both Sides at number 5, I'm okay with doing that. If you want to do, should we do that? Should we lock that in?
Yeah,
I would be totally fine with that.
Well, now I'm getting pissed off. I want to fucking fight now. I'm like just like gearing for it. I've been like, listen, we're fighting. If Face Value, Hello, I Must Be Going, No Jacket Required, and But Seriously are the albums that are fighting out for the top spot, I'm totally okay with that. But really, let's just put this test to the metal. Again, I want to see how in cahoots they secretly are. They said they didn't talk to each other beforehand. Clearly, that's a lie. So right now,
no cahoots.
Ryan Reed, number 4. What are you dropping on?
We're going to me?
Yep.
Who are we going to?
We're going to Ryan Reed.
We're going to Ryan Reed. At number 4, I am going But Seriously.
Oh,
at number 4.
interesting.
But seriously, guys, I'm going with but seriously
Fucking Christ.
at number 4. And Evan is shaking his
I
head as
am.
if he wants to murder me via the internet, via Skype.
Just wait where I'm going.
I just have to go.
I'm gonna take you to
I
one
have
of
to
those
put
back
it-
clubs, and we're gonna fight this out. By the way, no jacket required to enter the club. It's really nice.
Oh,
God, it's so bad. It's so bad. Why are we doing this? Colin.
oh, they're all good.
Colin.
They're
Yes. Hello. Yes.
Do
You
you
want my
agree?
4th?
Yeah. Do you agree?
Okay. No, I don't agree. I do not agree. I do not agree.
Finally.
And I'm going to say something very, very controversial.
Oh, I
right
think
now.
I know
Oh,
it. If it's
I have
what
a
I think,
bad
I'm
feeling.
excited.
I'm going
excited.
number 4, no jacket required.
Yes!
Oh, you.
Colin
That's-
McGuire
that's where I'm
Oh.
going.
for the win.
Colin, you've stabbed me in the
I'm so
back.
sorry about that. When we
And the
Okay,
heart.
but
when
can
we
we
do the
talk
Peter
about this
Gabriel
for a
episode, I'll
second?
make it up to you. But
Can we talk about
Yes.
this?
I have
Oh
such,
my God.
You
The
must.
thing, okay, I want to say that with the caveat, with this caveat. Inside Out, on No Jacket Required, was for many years of my life my favorite song ever written. So even though that's on this record, I still think it falls at number 4.
Okay, now here's the thing about this one is that this is by a nautical mile his best-selling album.
Yes.
It won the Grammy for Album of the Year. It sold 12 million copies in the U.S. alone. It was what made Phil Collins the most successful member of Genesis into a bona fide superstar.
It made him obnoxious. That's what I think. I think this was the record where people said, enough with you. And that's, I think that plays
You're
in.
probably right on that.
Well, because, and
Yeah.
like, if you read all the interviews that Phil Collins did around the 2016 re-releases of this, he really distanced himself from
Yes.
those songs like, hey, listen,
Yes.
I know Sussudio is one of the biggest hits I've ever had ever and defined the 80s, but the producer made me do it. Like, really,
Well, the
Phil?
live
Really?
version of Sussudio is killer. When they extend it out for 7-8 minutes and they have Daryl go on that guitar riff and the back and forth horns, oh my god, that is amazing. But the studio version of Sussudio, please deliver me. Ryan, what do you have to say about this?
Oh man, there's so much to unpack here. Well, oh god, I guess I'll save my no jacket required for later because it will be later. I will say that, but I just think, for one, I agree that the live version of Sussudio does trump the studio version, as do a lot of Phil songs, especially from this era. But god damn it, I love Sussudio. I can't help myself.
Like, listen,
I
here's
cannot
the other
help
thing.
it. Of course,
I can't.
it's a
I
Prince
actually
ripoff.
agree with
We all
you,
know
Ryan.
that.
I
But
agree with you. Like, as much as it's hated on, it's still a goofy, fun song. Like,
it's so goofy and so fun
Yeah.
and so unabashedly just. It's Phil.
But more-
It's Phil at his goofiest and silliest, and
You know who I
Right.
want?
and it's just such a killer melody. They just
You know who I
Go ahead.
once read loves Sussudio? James Murphy.
that makes
Oh.
sense.
Yeah.
LCD Sound
I could
System,
see that,
James
actually.
Murphy. Yeah, but here's the other thing about the sound, because the more I listen to it, like, there are certain albums that, like, transcend the 80s. Like, when you listen to Michael Jackson's Thriller, I've used this analogy before, it doesn't sound like an 80s album. It doesn't even sound like a disco album. It just kind of sounds like this pop thing that almost exists out of time to a degree. Like, it's just fascinating how that works. And yet, the thing is, and there are other Phil Collins albums that I would even argue have elements of kind of a timeless quality to it. No Jacket Required is literally trapped in the 80s.
Yeah.
When you think about the
Yeah.
sound of like what 80s pop is, you think about No Jacket Required, whether you actually know it or not. The big surging kind of rock guitars and these big, Prince indebted synth vamps. Like
Yeah.
it's just kind of. This is before he turned into absolute horn fetishism, but there was still, like, he always had horns, but then he just lost it. But I would argue, though, none of these songs really stick to me the way I thought they would. Like, I really do, like, Don't Lose My Number. That will never show up on anyone's Here's My Favorite Phil Collins song playlist. But I will say, even though I feel like this is a thing that is time-locked and unable to escape its genre confines, Take Me Home, I would argue, is the greatest pop song Phil Collins ever wrote.
Ooh.
No,
yeah.
I think it's. Again, I won't. I'll save my ranting for later about that.
In the
album,
Happy
but-
Hour podcast, which will come up after. Don't worry, guys.
But I have to. I'll switch it back to. But seriously now, because that's my number 4. I don't think I've ranted about this. semi-drunk right now, so I'll
No,
try to
keep
gather
going,
myself.
keep going, because I have so much to say about But Seriously.
Listen,
I want to hear you
Ryan,
first.
Yeah.
Ryan, listen,
I really
he doesn't care
wanted to-
anymore.
Basically,
he can't
wanted to
believe
get
it's
this
true.
back so Colin could rant about.
I know.
Because I want to hear your argument on this one, because I think that's it's interesting that you like it more than me, and I think a lot of people, because I don't, at least to my knowledge, it seems to be kind of
Forgotten.
outside of the top 3 for a lot of people.
It
But
hasn't found a way
I
to your
w-
heart? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you goddamn you, Evan. You
But continue, Colin, please.
guys, it's like another day in paradise when we get to hang out and talk like this. It's
Oh.
It's
great.
like just like father to son. I know, I get it.
You know what?
It's just if only we had one more night to do this, then I think we could really.
Me personally, I just wish it would rain down.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
I hate everything. I did this. I am aware I did this, and now you guys are just droning on and on. But the thing is,
Hey, wait.
like,
One more thing about No
Yes.
Jacket being number 4. It has One More Night on it. One More Night's one of the worst songs Phil Collins ever wrote.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, I love that song so
really?
much.
Why?
It's one
Now,
of,
Colin, why do you hate One More Night?
Oh, why do I hate it? Oh, I think I think it's a really lazy song. Actually, if you really break it down musically, you can tell that's Phil Collins sitting around with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a drum machine and just writing his heart on a piece of paper, which isn't all that bad. But you're Phil fucking Collins. You've sold 300 million records. I think it's just a lazy song. That's why.
I think I could actually see what you mean, but something about the atmosphere of that song, I guess it gives me the like kind of Genesis vibes, and maybe that's like a sentimental thing, but the atmosphere and the texture of the kind of drum machine and the synth, and it's got this hushed quality to it that I just find every time it comes on, I'm sucked into it. Even though I agree there's not much happening, and it's definitely not one of his best songs, I don't think, but honestly, I have a hard time there's one song on No Jacket Required that I do not like, and I'll save that. But every other song on that album, and Evan, don't you roll your eyes?
Oh no, keep going, please, please.
You forget that I can see you.
Damn
It's
it.
on Skype now. Every other song on No Jacket Required to me, I love it. I was actually surprised, even when I got the reissue, and it had been a while since I'd listened to it, not very long, and I put it on, like, God, every single song in here except for that one, I love it so much, but when I think about But Seriously, it's kind of like some of the albums lower down the list. There's not much that stands out to me on that album. I like that But Seriously has a more organic production style. Yeah. I really do like that about it, and there are, like we said before, it's got a lot of varied stuff. I like that a lot. But I don't know.
Well, what is your favorite song on But Seriously?
Probably, and this is probably the generic pick, but Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. I just think it's a single for a reason. It's got the classic Phil stuff on there. Got those awesome horns, which is kind of almost a cliche for Phil at that point, but I don't know. It's got so much energy to it. I love that song, the groove on it, the bass line, and that melody is just classic. But I don't know. There's a couple other tracks I like, but as a whole, I think it's just some good singles with some solid but not remarkable stuff around it. That's how I feel about it. It's not a track for track killer album like some of the other songs or some of the other albums that we'll talk about later.
Okay, so in long story short, Colin, you and I are in agreement that we're putting No Jacket Required at number 4.
Yes.
Oh, look at it. I love it so much. All right, guys. We buried your child. Oh, it's so amazing. All right, so then that leaves to the tough question, though, now that we have that at number 4. And I'm glad we did that. I really am. Guys, so does that leave Colin, especially... No, actually, I'm sorry, Ryan, for you. Would that leave But Seriously at number 3 for you?
But Seriously is number 4 for me.
Okay, so you'd be okay with putting it at number 3?
I'm putting it at 3, yes. I'm putting But Seriously at 3. I don't know what Ryan has, but I will go But Seriously at 3.
I'm feeling okay with it. I have Hello I Must Be Going at number 3. But
okay, all right, guys, all right, listen. All right, let's just go.
I have a feeling that was a controversial pick.
Yeah, now
judging by the screen.
It's controversial to a sense, but let's kind of talk about it. First off, if we're okay with putting But Seriously at number 3, and I think we are, I think we're all good.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Now, really, the thing is that we are getting down to 2 very different albums, and I must say, when I went on my Phil Collins journey myself, personally, I was...
We all go on one.
We all do, exactly.
It's a rite of passage.
I felt like a duke by the end of it. And the thing is that, like, face value, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the In the Air Tonight album. But god damn it, there is so much to face value. There are so many different facets and so many different styles that he does, and there's also that underlying sense of darkness that is there. And listen, Hello, I Must Be Going. I can take the song Like China and throw it to hell, mainly for his affected accent. Like China, oh, the fucking Cockney accent. Oh, I don't know why that kills me. But guys, I would say in going through my Phil Collins journey, no song surprised me more than Do You Know, Do You Care? Because that is such a brooding, like, all the shit about people saying about Phil Collins as kind of the weak pop fluff motherfucker. Like, that song, like, is...
No, that song is a beast. That's top 5 Collins.
Oh my god, like, I can't even imagine. That's like Drug Trip level. That's like a whole different thing. There was and then on the track list, he follows that motherfucker up with You Can't Hurry Love, which is just like the best arguably one of the best whiplashes of the 80s in terms of track lists. And the thing is that, so even though I don't even love every part of Hello, I Must Be Going, it's an album that genuinely surprises me. More so than face value, but I'm willing to hear arguments either way.
Well, so are we just up to the top 2 now? Okay.
For the recap, for our listeners that are wondering, number 8 was 2002's Testify. Number 7 was 2010's Going Back. Number 6 was 1996's Dance to the Light. Number 5 was 1993's Both Sides. Number 4, much to Ryan's chagrin, was 1985's No Jacket Required.
One More Night.
And number 3 was 1989's But Seriously, which leads us down to the last 2.
Which are
biggies.
the first 2.
It's almost reverse chronological order, almost entirely, but still, which is interesting.
My dad said something to me last week. We were talking about this, and I really wanted to talk about this with him. And he said something that I thought was really interesting that I had not heard before. Phil Collins always made this argument that he wanted to be known as a great drummer. And he was. He was a great drummer for Brand X. He was a great drummer for Genesis when it started. All of that stuff in the early days, I guess I should say. But after these first 2 albums, if all he wanted to be known as was a great drummer, then he would have stopped after these first 2 albums. He didn't have to do anything else. Like, because he made all the hits and all the money with Face Value and Hello, I Must Be Going. That's it. He could have lived off of that. Genesis was fine. If he only wanted to have credibility, these would have been the only 2 records he ever put out. That's my argument.
It's a good argument.
And then Silence falls over the crowd.
No, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, because, No Jacket Required, even though it launched him... I would say that even though we ranked No Jacket Required at number 9, I would say that really what that did was by launching him into the sphere of a superstar. I think the biggest thing is that gave him a lot more leeway as a pop artist. Like, genuinely, would he have landed the fucking Tarzan gig? Or, more importantly, would he have landed the Disney Brother Bear gig? Had he not had No
that
Jacket
coveted
Required?
Brother Bear gig.
I don't know. But I feel...
He was printing money at this point. That's what he was doing. With everything he did, he was the biggest star in the world. You want to be a credible musician, don't write One More Night. That's all that I have to say.
One More Night hate is so surprising on here, but really, let's get down to the real question. Ryan Reed, if you had your druthers, what would you put at number 2?
My druthers, I'm going with No Jacket Required at number 2.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Okay, but that's dead. So you're putting Hello, I Must Be Going at number 2?
Fuck you, man. Yeah, I guess so. It's a great... As we said before, for me, the top 3 albums, you could almost interchange them because they're all so great. I think they're almost flawless. Seriously, I think they're all as close to 5 out of 5 stars as you can get, or whatever ranking you want to have. Mm-hmm. I think they're all classic albums. I think the rest of his albums... There are great songs on each of them, except for Testify. I don't think there's a single good thing about that for the most part. But the top 3, again, I'm cool with those rankings being interchanged because they're just all great albums. But I would have No Jacket Required at number 2 because I think it is... I don't know, I just love all of those songs. The only song on that album that I do not like, and I think is a shitty track, is Who Said I Would, which is literally a riff for riff rewrite of Susudio. I mean, it's the same exact synth part. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that before, but if you play them side by side, it's the exact same fucking song, which is just lazy and stupid. So it's as if they just took the tracks and were like, yeah, let's just bang out another one. We already got it up and running. So that song, that hurts it a little bit for me. That's why I struggled with it and almost flip-flopped my 2 and 3 spots. But yeah, as it stands, I've got No Jacket at number 2. But I have no qualms with this ranking. I'm feeling pretty solid about it.
Okay, so Colin, that again leads to you. Face Value, Hello, I Must Be Going, number 1, number 2. Where do you put him?
Number 2 is Face Value for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, number 2 is Face Value for me.
That is a surprise.
Hello, I Must Be Going. Yes.
So why is that? Why does Hello, I Must Be Going hold a little bit more of a place for you over Face Value?
I think that he spent all of his energy and time through all those years playing drums in Genesis, saying, I have these songs inside me that I have to write. And he wrote them with Face Value. As far as I'm concerned, that took him 10, 15, 20 years to write Face Value. When he turned around with Hello, I Must Be Going, and you come out with I Don't Care Anymore, which led it. And I read this in your magazine, Ryan. I read this in Rolling Stone.
Ooh. What you got?
Well, he said when they asked him to talk about his 15 favorite songs or something like that, and he said, I Don't Care Anymore was like the first record was, oh, I'm so heartbroken and I'm going through all this stuff, but I Don't Care Anymore was like, oh, fuck off. I really, really like that. I think there are some underrated songs. I love Like China, unlike somebody else talking right now.
Yeah, I don't care for that song, but
thank you, Ryan.
It's so
the fucking
cheesy.
Cockney accent is just like Evan
Like
said.
China.
Your mom and dad don't like me.
It's a cool idea for a song, but it's just so fucking stupid that
I'd agree. That's the other thing too. Like, it could work, but the execution is just so like. Listen, you're a child actor, so now you're playing a vocal character. Like Prince could do that with Camille. You ain't Prince, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm putting that out there.
I cannot believe it's true. I think is an underrated song. I think Do You Know, Do You Care was Phil Collins trying to be Peter Gabriel in 1980, whatever.
Oh, I like that analogy.
No, I love that. Yeah, I think it's great. But I mean,
and he does a pretty good job. Yeah,
and he does do a really good job. And I have a very soft spot for the West Side.
That's a great track.
It really is. So I think it was. I'm not going to say it was easier because Face Value is great. The songs on Face Value are very good. Behind the Lines, though, you have to remember was a Genesis song. In the Air Tonight became sort of its own phenomenon. After that, The Roof Was Leaking was written with Eric Clapton. There were a lot of other people in on those songs for Face Value. I Missed Again and all of that stuff. Hello, I Must Be Going, though, that was him saying, I need to figure out a way to follow that up. And that's why Hello, I Must Be Going is more impressive than Face Value to me.
I would say just to follow up on a couple things. Like China, for me, is almost like Phil Collins. I was going to say it's like the Phil version of Genesis's Illegal Alien.
Yes.
It's got this like super annoying character that he's playing. I don't know if it comes from his days of being a child actor or whatever, but it's just like it's so annoying. And that alone, that song, because it is so annoying to me, puts it below Face Value. Because Face Value to me has there's not a dip in quality to me on that album. Every single track is very. Maybe I'm overhyping it a little bit. There are slight dips. Obviously, nothing is as good as In the Air Tonight, but there are just track for track. Everything is very, very strong. But like China alone, if I'm going to be very just track by track about it, I'm looking at the track list right now. I don't think Face Value has anything as weak as Like China.
Really?
And even You Can't Hurry Love, as much as I like it, it's a cover, so it's kind of like. It's sort of the same feeling that I have as Going Back. It's just sort of Phil indulging his, Motown and soul fix. And so I don't know, that it's a good song, but it just doesn't. It's just sort of lightweight for me. So my favorite track on the album, by the way, I don't think we mentioned this, is Through These Walls. I think that song is fucking incredible. It's like him at his most art rock.
Yeah.
Kind of, and I just love that. I love that. A lot of people don't think of Phil as having these kind of moody, dark, weird moments. Phil's written a few really fucking weird songs. People don't think about it.
Yeah.
They just think about Brother Bear. So when you
That's all they talk about.
that's all.
Brother Bear.
Every headline is Brother Bear singer Phil Collins gets divorced.
Through These Walls and Do You Know, Do You Care, does that not sound like he's trying to be Peter Gabriel on those songs?
It does sound like, but I like that. Maybe it's just
I do
'cause-
too.
Yeah,
I do too.
I don't necessarily fault him, but literally, I think you guys are on opposite sides of the fence, which means that really it comes down to Evan and making this final determination, which is how Evan likes it. Let's be real. But also, you guys have been agreeing on everything right now, so I have no problem with that. When I think about these two albums here, I mean, honestly, Face Value has more sonic surprises than anything else. And here's the other thing too. In the Air Tonight, the template that he created on that song, he attempted so many other times throughout the rest of his career. Like, there's other times where he has, like, I mean, I listen to some of these albums, I'm like, is he doing another in the, like, almost the exact same, like, you know, opening kind of like synthy, Casio, whatever kind of track, and then, like, he starts bringing synth elements in. But the other thing is that when I think about these two albums, you know, like, This Must Be Love, he sounds just so, like, quiet, sheepish, like weirdly heartbroken, even though it's an optimistic song. Like, it's almost like This Must Be Love because I just came out of something really shitty. Like, the one thing about these two albums is that I have a personal horse in the race for Hello, I Must Be Going, just because the darkness and the sinisterness that he has there, he never replicated. But when I'm thinking about a great album, when I'm thinking about everything, Hello, I Must Be Going, if that was Phil Collins' debut album, that would come out, and I have a feeling a lot of people would be like, that's really interesting. But I have a feeling with Face Value, that came out, and his legacy is and has been secure ever since. And also, I agree with Ryan, the Can't Hurry Love cover, as successful as it was really just tacky.
Frivolous.
Honestly,
That was no. If you give me one of the two covers, either Tomorrow Never Knows or You Can't Hurry Love, I'm going with You Can't Hurry Love.
But when You Can't Hurry Love, then you come back with our number 7 album, Going Back. That would not have happened were it not for Can't Hurry Love.
No.
There's just so much to love on Face Value.
Well, there is. You're right.
Listening to it today, I was even surprised by a couple songs I hadn't listened to in a while, like Droned.
You've droned?
That's a cool ass song with a very like African vibe, and you got Shankar.
Right,
Yeah.
and the
violin.
thing is that, like, it's
Some
like
really interesting, varied
I-
stuff on there. There's this really interesting ebb and flow on that album where it goes from these really light, upbeat, peppy numbers like I Missed Again, and I guess you can not quite upbeat, but it just runs the full gamut. Everything you could want from Phil in one package. And then the icing on the cake, I feel like the Argument, Buster, I mean, which album has in the Air Tonight on it? If
The
it's already,
Buster.
we're talking about two great albums already. They're both fantastic, amazing albums. Which one's got In the Air Tonight on it? I think that's, if the tiebreaker is that. I mean, that song is, I don't know. That's, that was my line of thinking on that.
Listen, we've been spending almost an hour talking about Phil Collins, and I think that In the Air Tonight argument, as you know, ridiculed and as cartoonized it's been over the years, that's a really solid argument. And listen, I am so fucking happy that Hello, I Must Be Going is this far up here, but I have zero qualms with calling it right now, guys. Let's put Face Value on top, and let's review it. Oh, Colin, that's not a bad loss at all.
We each took one for the team, man.
These us sounds are, I don't know what they're turning into. But just stop. But let's review what we have now, and I'm actually really fucking stoked about this, guys. The Phil Collins Chartographers ranking: number 8, Testify; number 7, Going Back; number 6, Dance Into the Light, somehow way higher up than I thought it would be; number 5, Both Sides; number 4, No Jacket Required; number 3, But Seriously; number 2, Hello, I Must Be Going; and the number 1 Phil Collins album,
So cliche.
Face Value, the Buster soundtrack. You got it, guys. It is right there, number 1.
Buster it
So
all
proud.
along. We all knew it was coming.
Well, guys, listen. This is amazing. This is awesome. I'm glad we got to talk about this. But guys, as you well know, there is so much more we need to get into. You're both going to stick around for a happy hour mini-sode right after this, right?
Oh, of course. I'm drunk.
Do I have a choice?
Why am I going anywhere?
Right, and just like our listeners, I hope you're drunk too, drunk off the good times. In the meantime, before then, Colin, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Ryan, thank you. I haven't forgotten anything because I'm so glad you're here. And listen, this has been an amazing podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you, by the way, like us on Facebook, SoundCloud, Google, wherever the fuck we are right now, Chartographers. You ought to know by now, really. Let's just be honest. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Keep on listening because you know that we'll be. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.